Good afternoon everyone, I'm Patricia. Today my groupmates Wei Tiao, Nicholas and Ray Hao will bring you through the case study of Groupon's intercultural failure in its entry into China. So some background about this, Groupon was launched in 2008. It's actually an e-commerce marketplace that offers recommendations for consumers to access discounted deals. It's an American company available in 48 different countries, and it uses Facebook, Twitter and email to broadcast daily deals to its subscribers. Here are some of the Groupon's deals, including vacation, restaurants, beauty and wellness, as well as shopping discounts. So in 2011, Groupon actually tried to enter the China market by partnering with local partner Tencent in a joint venture called Gaofeng.com. However, they failed to penetrate the Chinese market based on these reasons above. Number one, Groupon refused to acculturate into China's business model. They were very insistent on using strategies that worked in America, resulting in instrumental conflict. Thirdly, there was also cultural differences and differences in work ethic, which led to culture shock between Groupon and China. Lastly, and all this actually resulted in losses of up to $46 million for Groupon. So this is some of the context of Groupon's entry into China. Actually, it was a very well calculated move, whereby China's e-commerce population in 2011 was actually nearing $500 million. There was also a very collectivistic culture and group buying behavior of the Chinese citizens, making it perfect for Groupon's entry. Lastly, the tradition of bargaining for cheap deals in China was actually seen to be easy for Groupon to break into China to gain market share.
So now my team will be delving into some of the issues and conflicts that prevented Groupon from successfully penetrating the Chinese market. First of all, they had an ethnocentric business approach with working with their Chinese employees and partners, which led to expressive conflict. So firstly, Groupon insisted on using mass email marketing strategies despite being warned by their Chinese partners that citizens seldom read emails and this strategy would not work. However, due to their negative face orientation, where they wanted to have autonomy over their business operations and strategies, they insisted on using this strategy. Furthermore, they felt that what had been successful in other countries such as Germany would translate to success in China. Unfortunately, the strategy did not work in the end. Furthermore, due to their ethnocentric business approach, employees did not feel that their views were respected, and this compromised their loyalty to the company. Next, employees were not used to working with the Western style of management, and this also led to inefficiency. Together, all three factors led to a high turnover rate for the Chinese employees. Next, there's a failure to tailor their recruitment strategy to the Chinese market. Groupon relied on aggressive recruiting strategies where they tried to poach local talent from competitors to work at Groupon by wooing them with high salaries. However, this led to expressive conflict with the rest of the competitors, who then retaliated in anger by banning all the other employees from getting jobs in the future at their companies. So this actually led to a situation where Groupon was unable to hire local talent to work for them. Next, there's a collectivistic nature of Chinese companies that Groupon failed to foresee. Groupon thought that they could just pay huge sums to acquire Lasho, the largest Chinese company, to enter the Chinese market. However, they had a feeling of culture shock when the Chinese side refused to work together with them, and instead they joined forces with the other companies to boycott Groupon instead. So we can actually see that there's a collectivistic nature of the companies that prevented Groupon from successfully penetrating the market. Next, there's a misaligned management structure. So Groupon actually had a failure in hiring local Chinese employees, which led to a lack of local understanding for the Chinese market. As you can see, the majority of the senior management are not actually Chinese locals, and this led to an inability for Groupon to adapt to the Chinese cultural practices of doing business in China. So Groupon actually wanted 50% profits from its partners, but Tencent was only willing to provide 10% profits, as this is the cultural norm in China. So this actually led to instrumental conflict between Tencent and Groupon because both parties could not agree to work together using a strategy they agreed on.
So what are the consequences of Groupon's venture into China? As can be seen from this slide, 1 year in, Groupon had suffered $46.4 million in net losses with only $2.1 million in revenues. Its net loss in China was significantly higher than other countries it invested in, and it had to shut down 10 offices, resulting in mass layoffs in the same year of its inception. It also consistently failed to break into the top 10 in terms of market share, as can be seen from this chart over here. Okay, so in the end, there was a rumor turned truth, and Gaopeng eventually merged with its rival F1, which was orchestrated by Tencent, its joint venture partner, and signaled Groupon's bailing out in the Chinese market. Groupon remained as a minority stakeholder after its merger with F1, but F1 became the main managing firm directing the company's direction. So in terms of business perspective, for Groupon, they adopted a Silicon Valley perspective into the Chinese market, which believed in pure business relationships. They wanted to also fast track into the China market, which can be seen from their attempted purchase of the group Laoshan and also their partnering with their JV partner Tencent. They believe that innovation equals to breaking new ground, but as we can see from the China side, guanxi is a very important part in business relations, which the Western side failed to capture. Groupon is seen as a foreign entity and thus considered an outgroup, and innovation in China is equivalent to adaptation and speed. It also operates on the basis of lean businesses, which is not the same model that Groupon has adopted for its China market. Okay, we move on to perspective of consumers in China regarding Groupon business. So a very important factor is that social discounts that Groupon had for its China market did not tend to sit well with the majority of its consumers, as the middle class in China was a generation out of poverty and they did not want to appear cheap buying mass discount deals. Instead, what they actually wanted was luxury items and status symbols. Okay, moving on to its communication relationship with its JV partner Tencent, we can see that actually from these statements, Tencent did not have a very good working relationship with Groupon. And actually, the IC relationship resulted partly to the breakup of Groupon in the end.
A cultural factor that actually affects Groupon's impact in the Chinese market is actually its controversial Super Bowl advertisement featuring Tibet in 2011. As we all know that Tibet is a very controversial topic in China, and the film actually alienated locals from the company. And through all this, the locals actually didn't find it very humorous. Yes, some of the resolutions we have is actually to channel the Chinese executives from Tencent into Groupon's management team. So for the pros, it's actually a greater representation of Chinese workers and also a better understanding of the Chinese market. However, it's quite sensitive because Tencent may actually get access to classified information about Groupon. Another resolution is actually using guanxi as a crucial factor to doing business in China. So the Groupon directors can actually use their guanxi to further business interests. And over here, we want to use Seng's theory of resolving cultural differences by adopting either one's culture. In this case, we want to adopt the Chinese culture. And lastly, we want to have a better welfare for Chinese workers. So we actually can cater to the needs of the Chinese workers by having full insurance coverages for workers and their immediate families. And this will result in more motivated workers. Thank you.